guys, it's Michelle on the Shelves here, and I'm back with a library haul this time. The haul is going to be the books that I got from both in the last few days, and I got a couple CDs that I'm not really going to show because, you know, it's a book channel. But if you want to see those, let me know. I can tell you what they are. So now we're going to jump into my book haul, and then at the end of the video I will also tell you what I am currently reading. First two books I got were from the library that's near me, and I got these a few days ago. The first one is Killer Nurse by John Foxjohn, and this and some of the other books you'll see from me will indicate I'm a big fan of true crime. Anytime Netflix adds new forensics kind of documentary shows, I tend to blow through those. So, and I think I remember the story. It is in Texas, Kimberly Clark Sainz, back about 9-10 years ago. That patients were getting killed off, and there's a lot of stories like this, so I might be mixing it up. But this is basically a killer nurse. So I grabbed that one, and I don't mind reading trade paperbacks with these kind of books. Is actually, I had seen this author do commentary. It's on a Netflix show, like Deadly Women, I think it's called, and she would comment on a lot of the cases. And this is the first book of hers that I found, and it's about the Casey Anthony case from a few years ago, Mommy's Little Girl by Diane Fanning. And what's cool is she was an Edgar Award finalist, so that's a pretty good sign that this is one of the better true crime writers. I was never too interested in the Casey Anthony story, but I do remember when it was, when was it? 2008. Okay, same year as the other book. I do remember when that case was going, and some of you guys might, and even then, come on, we all knew it was the mom. And so I just wanted to read some of Diane Fanning's writing. So we'll give that a try, and we'll see how it goes. Sidebar, if any of you guys read true crime, let me know which authors you like. I see a number of true crime authors talking about cases that they investigated on these forensic shows, and so I'm kind of building a list of ones to check out. And so if you know any are really good, let me know, because I'm definitely interested. All is from just today. I literally just got back a few minutes ago. The first book is The ABCs of LGBT by Ashley Mardell. I feel like I've seen this book around, but it's really cool inside, which, you know, that's obviously what's important about the book, huh? And it's got, you know, really interesting illustrations and pictures, and I believe she is a YouTuber. Now the next book is one that was in the new book area, and I tend to scan those first, and of course it had a dog on the cover, so you know I'm going to pick it up and look at it. It is called A Dog's Gift, the inspirational story of veterans and children healed by man's best friend. And that's a particular theme I like, is service dogs and therapy dogs, and so I really like to read those kind of stories. Book is a young adult that is actually on my TBR pile on my Goodreads. It is The Sleeping Prince, and the author is Melinda Salisbury. I had to look at it for a second. I read and it had owned The Sin Eater's Daughter, and I think I gave it like a 3. It wasn't awesome, but like it was good enough for me to finish it. And I think this is like, it's a series, but they're not necessarily, it's not like a continuation of it's just like related books. So I thought I would give it a try. I was pleased to find it. And I really like the covers for both of these. So, the book is an adult book. It is called Inspector of the Dead. And what caught my attention along the lines of true crime, it's not surprising that I'm a mystery crime thriller fan as well, in the fictional world. And one of my favorite themes is kind of that creepy Victorian crime thriller, and this is an opium addicted, kind of brilliant mind, and his daughter, and people at Scotland Yard kind of all help him solve these cases. In this particular book, people are turning up dead, but the people turning up dead are those who had been known to plot against Queen Victoria's life, and so they get worried that, okay, if her would-be assassins are getting killed off, then she might be next. So they're trying to figure out who's doing that, and the author is David Morrell, who I'd never heard of, but if it's anything like the same sort of theme as The Alienist and things like that, then I feel like I'll probably like it. So, the final book is a young adult. It's been out for a long time. I had previously passed it over. One of my favorite podcasts is The Worst Bestsellers, and they were talking about this book on their top 5 of YA, and they do audiobooks, and so I can't remember which one of them, I think it was Kate, had listened to it on an audiobook and said it was really good, and then she described what it was actually about, and it caught my attention, so I decided to actually go get it. I didn't realize it was going to be that thick, but that's okay. I mean, it sounds like it's really good. So I'm going to give it a try. Basically, if you don't know what it's about, it's a girl named Evie, psychic, or she can see things in the supernatural, and she gets sent to New York City to live with a relative because of that. Like, she would bust out the trick at parties, and so she gets sent to New York City and gets drawn into this world with supernatural figures and such. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah, her uncle is obsessed with the occult, and so that's kind of how she ends up diving deeper into that, and her abilities come into play, and so it just sounds really interesting. I feel like I say that a lot, it sounds really interesting, but it does. So there you go. I don't know how quickly I will get to it, but don't be fooled, that is not a bookmark. That is the library slip. I have not started it. So that is the last of the books I got. And what I'm currently reading is goes along with the first haul at the other library. And I decided to give Eckhart Tolle a shot. I wanted to read The Power of Now first, but this is the one that the library had, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose, and so far it's pretty good. It's a lot of talking about the ego and how that affects how we relate to each other and how we live our lives and things like that. If you're not into, I hesitate to call it New Age, but you know, if you're not into that kind of like, oh, the ego and the pain body and, you know, you're being present and, you know, if you're not into that kind of stuff, it's probably not going to appeal to you. But if you're into mindfulness, if you're into psychology at all, especially the ego, you can see the influences of like the old psychologists like Carl Jung and things like that. And he's a trained like spiritual counselor and counselor, so it's not surprising that he gets into the ego a lot. But so far, it's been enough to keep me going, and I find myself going, yeah, that makes sense, a lot as I read it. So it's a little abstract than I'm used to, but that's not to say it's not good, so we'll see, and then I'll read anything else of his that I can find. From what my Google adventures told me, I don't think he's written a book in a while, so I'll have to look into that. But if you've read any of his books, let me know down below what you think. If you think it's a pile of crap, you can nicely say that. I'm reserving my judgments until I finish it. But yeah, if you've read any of the books that I showed you, comment below and let me know what you thought without spoilers. And then if you really are interested to see the CDs I got, I can let you know what I got. But since it's not book related, I thought I'm not gonna show it. But I was gonna do a wrap up, and then I realized I read these books and then I turn them back into the library, so I don't have any way to like show you guys the books. But I'll leave a link to my Goodreads and you can see what I've read so far. And all those books that you'll see for my reading challenge were, of course, read in January. So that would give you kind of an idea of what I've read. It's like 3 or 4 Nancy Drews I know were in there. And then a book I just finished called A is for Arsenic. And it is the poisons that were used in Agatha Christie's books. And it was written by a PhD chemist, so it gets real technical, but it was fascinating. And again, it fits in with my like of true crime and fictional crime. So don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below. I really want to hear you guys' comments and your thoughts. So I will see you guys later. Bye.